welcome back to my third ever video. Yay! Yeah! Today, I'm gonna be telling the story about how I low-key assaulted this kid and made his grandparents hate me. It was my fault though. It was, but I didn't mean to do it. Okay. So this was when I was, this was when I was 11, I think. Yeah. And I did fencing at the time. By the way, this is, what the fuck? Where does it say it? Oh, right here. Non-alcoholic. I don't drink. Because in my family, addictions are really easy to come by. I'm at a very high risk of addiction for literally anything. So, no drinking, no weed, no drugs that could kill me. I might try shrooms one day though. Nothing like that. No cigarettes. Cigarettes smell disgusting, so I assume they would taste disgusting too. So I wouldn't even want to try those. Yeah, but anyways, so this was when I was 11, and at the time I did fencing, but the problem was I am really, really tall. I'm like, fuck, how tall am I? I'm like 5'6", 5'7". Yeah, 5'6", 5'7". And as an 11-year-old who is like so much taller than everyone else you know, you really, really, really suck at spatial awareness. And like, it's not like I'm not trying, okay? Because like, my mom, she is all about spatial awareness. She would be like, Massey, get out of the street. Meanwhile, it's like empty. And I'd be like, I'm sorry. So like, I try to be spatially aware, but it's kind of hard when you're like really long-limbed like I was, and you like already like don't know how you sit in your own body because like, you know, like puberty. Ooh, puberty is starting like then, so you're like even more fucked up. So like, I really sucked at spatial awareness, and at excuse me and at my fencing place we would play this game. They called it Steal the Bacon. I'm sure there's like other names for it. I think I remember it from a different name, where it would basically just be like, they'd put a fencing glove in like the middle of one of the strips. A strip is basically like, for fencing, like it's the area you fence in, and it's just one long strip of space, and they'd put it smack in the middle, and there'd be like 3 kids on one side, 3 kids on the other, and he'd call out like 2, and both kids who were assigned number 2 would run up, and one of them would try and grab it, you know, bring it back to your side. Pretty classic game, okay? So I suck at games like that already because I am very clumsy and very not aware of my own body, especially back then. I've gotten better at it, I hope. So he calls like my number, and I go up, and I'm just running forward, just like, and and my friend, he runs up as well. We're gonna call him Chase. Chase runs up, and this kid wore glasses, and he didn't really take them off except when he was putting his fencing mask on. So I run up, and I fucking clotheslined him. I went, and I hit him like right in the neck, and he fell back like, and broke his glasses. I should have quit fencing right then. That was really embarrassing. I was like, and everyone was like, and I was like, oh my god,
Chase.
are you I was like, oh my god, Chase, are you okay? And he was like, yeah, I'm good. And everyone was like, at me, because, you know, I just fucking, like, MMA slammed this kid to the ground with my arm and broke his glasses. So I was like, ooh. But my one saving grace was that it was the last day before summer break. Or no, not summer break, spring break. And spring break, woo, woo! And I was like, all right, well, at least there's time for him to, like, forget about it a little bit, I guess, and to make things kind of cool. And so I head to Florida, and the first half of my summer break is great because I spend the first half with my grandma on my dad's side. And I'm like, la 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 la. And then for the second half, I drive to the other end of Florida to visit my grandpa on my dad's side because they're divorced. And my grandpa, he loves exploring and, like, museums and stuff because he's really fancy schmancy. And so basically, we were riding this, like, really popular, like, high-speed train. I don't remember what the fuck it was called. If you're, like, Floridian and watching this, drop it in the comments, and, educate me, because I completely forgot. But basically, we were standing there, and I look over, and I see this kid. It was Chase! I was like, no! And, like, I was like, it was too late for me to, like, run away, because basically, like, we'd locked eyes. I was like, and he was there with his grandparents, and I was like, oh, hi, and he was like, hi, and I got on the train, and his grandparents were giving me the nastiest looks, and I was like, but thankfully we never saw each other again that trip. But then when I got back to fencing, I was like, I'm so sorry, Chase. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. How was your spring break in Florida? And he was like, it's great, but my grandparents hate you. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you know, I told them about how you broke my glasses, and they were, like, not okay with it. And I was like, no! Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm such a people pleaser. The last thing I want to do is make someone's grandparents hate, especially someone's grandparents. That's so awful. So I was like, no! But it was okay, because I never saw his grandparents again. And then, I quit a year or two later. So, I'm never seeing him again, which is nice. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Sorry. I should just end this fucking video. Oh my god. But anyways, leave a like, subscribe, write something in the comments, be like, oh my god, hi, you're so funny, you're so silly, you're so sexy, marry me, you know. And if you guys like have questions for me that you want me to answer in another video, go ahead. Sadly, I'm not popular enough to do a proper AMA, so I think 1 billion subscribers, that sounds about right. I am posting this Saturday the 24th, so I think by the 1st of February I should have 1 billion.